Hey YouTube, it's Guillaume here, and in this video I'm going to walk you through a 5-step process so that you can plan your retirement as a high-income earner millennial. I think I have a pretty unique approach as to planning my financial life for myself, my fiancée Kayla, and the clients who agree with this life philosophy. What I mean by this is I believe that it's really important to secure your retirement first and then try to live as much as possible in the moment while spending on experiences like traveling, and any passions and activities that you love, and postponing buying material stuff. Here's a 5-step process for you to implement to have your dream retirement planned out. So the first step is to visualize what your retirement is gonna look like. So Kayla and I are planning to probably live half the year in Canada and probably half the year somewhere else, like Portugal, because half of her family is from the south of Portugal. And that's gonna have a meaningful impact on our spending and our cost of living. So it's important for you to think what kind of retirement you wanna have for yourself and your family. Where do you wanna retire? And the passions and the activities that you wanna do. For example, I know like between Portugal and Canada, or maybe it's gonna be Mexico, I know I'm gonna be playing hockey, playing golf, working out, spending time with friends, volunteering, and visiting families back in Quebec, living a life that is going to be full of experiences. Once you visualize the type of retirement that you want to have, it's going to be important to identify a cost to it. In today's dollar, I think that $100,000 between the both of us is plenty enough to live that type of lifestyle. To summarize, step 1 is be very clear on the retirement lifestyle you want to have and the cost associated with it. Step 2 is to identify the sources of income that's gonna fund your retirement. So in our situation, I'm expecting that in today's dollar, $40,000 is gonna come from CPP and OAS, which is gonna leave a $60,000 gap that will need to come from our investment portfolio. Now, step 3 is to calculate, okay, how big of a portfolio do we need in 30 years from now for a 30-year retirement? So doing a back of the envelope calculation, we can just do $60,000 divided by 3.5%. That's a reasonable safe withdrawal rate that we can assume throughout our retirement. And that's giving us a target portfolio of about $1.7 million. So if we enter $1.7 million in today's dollar and we plan to withdraw $60,000 a year, adjusted for inflation, we invest this money in a 60-40 portfolio that is globally diversified. If we run the simulation, we will have a 91% success rate, which is above 90%, which is fairly safe. If we look at the breakdown between the best scenario and the worst case scenario, we always want to focus on the worst case scenario. So in this example, this portfolio, a 60% equity, 40% fixed income, globally diversified portfolio, is going to allow us to withdraw $60,000 a year, adjusted for inflation, for a 30-year retirement period. And if you look at the safe withdrawal rate, is 3.7%, is roughly in line with the calculation that we've made by dividing $60,000 by 3.5%. The next step is to develop a saving plan. And this is where being a high income earner or someone who's living well below their means is going to make a world of difference. Let me explain. So if we go back to our example, let's assume that we're starting with $100,000 invested for a 30-year period. And we can save $2,000 a month that is adjusted for inflation. This is a saving rate of about 12%, which should be reasonable. You're living well below your means and you're focusing on saving throughout your lifetime. So to summarize step 4, you will need to save $2,000 adjusted for inflation per month for a 30-year period. If you're saving way above that, that's allowing you to spend even more money today while knowing that your retirement is taken care of, or perhaps even retiring way earlier than anticipated. If you're not able to save that amount of money, that means that you will have to reduce your retirement need and your goals throughout retirement. Find other sources of income today to increase your income in order to increase your saving rate so that you can live that type of lifestyle throughout your retirement. And then the step 5 is to project the portfolio. So in 30 years from now, you can expect to have accumulated 1.7 million in today's dollar or 3.8 million in nominal terms based on a $100,000 starting portfolio with the saving goals that we've identified of $2,000 a month adjusted for inflation. Let's recap the 5 steps that I mentioned. First is to identify your lifestyle and what kind of life you want to live throughout retirement with your family and how much is it going to cost you. Second is to identify the sources of income that will allow you to fund this retirement. Third is to calculate the target portfolio that you need at the start of your retirement so that you can spend that money throughout your retirement or decumulate your portfolio throughout retirement. Step 4 is to develop a saving plan today for the next 30 years that will allow you to fund your retirement for that 30-year period. And step 5 is to project your portfolio value from today to the start of retirement so that you can have a number in mind or a goal that you're working towards to achieve that will be your financial freedom number, or the number that will allow you to completely stop working and solely rely on the guaranteed sources of income from the government and your investment portfolio to live your lifestyle. If you need guidance or coaching on brainstorming your dream retirement and come up with a plan to achieve these financial goals, feel free to DM me and I'll send you some questions to see how I can help you. Don't forget to click subscribe and see you in the next video.